Y'all, welcome to 1111 in the Garden. Happy Lent. I am Brad Thompson. We're going to start now. Of course, today we have Kagan Parker doing the meditation, so it's going to be fantastic. We're going to kick this service off with a song that I wrote. How about that? Here we go. It's a good one. And it's got some banjo on it, which makes me super happy. All right, say. Love can be a force to unify us. Love can be all that divides us. Love can keep you out of stormy weather. Love can keep a family together. Say it now. Love can be as new as the morning. Love can be where we all start learning. Love can be that place we hold so sacred. Love can be how we get to pass the hurting. Sister, can you keep me? Brother, will you hold me? Friend, can I look at you when I'm down? Sister, understand me. Brother, can you know me? Friend, can I look to you? Time is now. Give your grace on those around me. Feel your presence even now. See your face when I'm forgiven. See you true in the world now. I can't redefine it. I can't redefine it. God is light, God is love. God is light, God is love. All right. I said, love can be for a world that has been shaken. Love can be a turn that isn't taken. Love can be as simple as forgiving. Love can be how we all start living. Sister, can you keep me? Oh, brother, can you hold me? Friend, can I look to you when I'm down? Sister, understand me. Brother, can you know me? Friend, can I look to you? The time is now. Do you grace from those around me? Do your presence even now? See your face when I'm forgiven. See you true in the world. How can we define it? How can we define it? Oh, yeah. God is light, God is love. God is light, God is love. Yeah. Sister, understand me. Brother, can you know me? Friend, can I look to you? The time is now. The time is now. Do you grace from those around me? Do your presence even now? much there.
Rock and roll.
Great song, Brad.
Thank you, Margaret.
And we can define it by our band, can't we? Can't we? Yes, thank you guys so much. Good morning, I'm Margaret Sutton, and it's wonderful to be here, and we want to welcome you, everyone that's online, everyone that is here with us, and if you are visiting today, we are delighted to have you with us. My husband reminded me that this is a very creative service, and we only do the same thing each week one time, and it is our words of welcome, which tell you that they're important to us. So would you join me? The welcome candle is lit. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, it doesn't matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, even if you have broken your vows 1,000 times, come yet again.
Thank you very much, Margaret. Okay, team, it's time to stand together, and we're going to sing a song straight from the 1111 hymnal by the great hymnist Iris DeMint. This one's going to do it, y'all. Lyrics are on the screen. Here we go. Yeehaw. Here's the chorus. Join us.
Everybody's wondering what and where they all came from. Everybody's worried about where they're gonna go when the whole thing's done. Nobody knows for certain, so it's all the same to me. I think I'll just let the mystery be.
Now the verse. Some say once you're gone forever. Some say you're gonna come back. Some say to rest in the arms of the Savior, the simple ways you lack. Some say that they're coming back in a garden, but you get a little sweet peace.
I think I'll just let the mystery be.
Chorus, man!
Everybody's wondering what and where they all came from. Everybody's worried about where they're gonna go when the whole thing is done. Nobody knows for certain, so it's all the same to me. I think I'll just let the mystery be.
Verse 2, Elena's got it.
Now some say they're going to a place called glory, and I ain't saying it ain't a fact. But I've been told that I'm on the road to purgatory, and I don't like the sound of that.
What?
Now I believe in love, and I live my life accordingly. But I choose to let the mystery be.
Chorus!
Everybody's wondering what and where they all came from. Everybody's worried about where they're gonna go when the whole thing is done. Nobody knows for certain, so it's all the same to me. I think I'll just let the mystery be. I think I'll just let the mystery be. I think I'll just let the mystery be.
Yeah! I'll put good money down saying we might be the only church singing that song this morning in the whole world. If y'all would, just take a moment and offer one another a sign of peace. Come on. A nice reggae finish, yeah. Always.
Good morning, good morning. Oh, no. I know it's been a while since I've been up here, but I know y'all didn't forget how to say good morning. Good morning! Good morning! I knew it. I believed in you all. Welcome. My name is Kagan Parker. We are so thrilled to have you all here with us today at 11:11. What's going on? Why are we... I feel like I've parted the Red Seas. So a couple notes about that, actually. Starting next week, we're going to block off these last 2.5 rows and ask y'all to like each other. I do know that that's difficult, but we'll start kind of scooting inwards and pulling a little bit further down, if that's okay. Yes? Okay, all right. Second order of business, as we are a part of the bigger story here at the Fort Worth Botanic Gardens, we love being hosted here, we love being a part of this family, and because we're a part of this greater family, we have to keep in mind our other family members. So those who are coming just to hang out at the garden and not do this weird thing that we do here. Starting next week as well, we've got 2 bays that are up at the very, very top of the hill. It is far, I do know. But we ask that you guys start parking there. If that's inaccessible for you because of mobility, you're more than welcome to park where you need to park to make that access easy. But in pursuit of butterfly season that's coming and all of the warm weather that's coming, we're gonna have lots of guests who are here. We wanna make sure that everybody can make it to the garden in a good place. So, top of the bay, you'll see they're blocked off for us. We're VIPs. And we'll ask that you guys start parking there. Last order of business, and then we'll get to shaken. Today after service at 1:30 is Miss Kathy Patterson's Memorial and Celebration of Life. So if you would like to be present for that, please do stay. We'd love to have you here just to be in remembrance and to support the family. And then there's lots of other things on your bulletin, but I do trust that you guys read those diligently, yes? No, sure. Sure. Well, if you have any questions about anything that you see on the back, please feel free to ask. We are restarting wine night this Tuesday night. Hopefully it'll be a little bit quieter and we can have some good conversation at Wine House. So we'd love to see you there as well.
I invite you to sing this one with us if you can. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field, I'll meet you there. We'll sing that again. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field, I'll meet you there. Now the verse. And the soul lies down in that grass. The world is too full to talk about ideas and language. Even the phrase each other, oh, it doesn't make any sense. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field, I'll meet you there. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field, I'll meet you there. And the verse again. And the soul lies down in that grass. The world is too full to talk about ideas, language, even the phrase each other. It doesn't make any sense. beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing. There is a fee, I'll meet you there.
Good morning, everyone. So we are in this season of Lent, and the season of Lent began on Ash Wednesday. It's a time in particular, as Kagan and I are kind of lining up with what the main church is doing downtown. Theirs is more about what we let go of, and in here we're sort of looking at our core values, kind of revisiting those things, which we've talked about from time to time. But in particular, we're thinking about ways in which we somehow block or hinder our own practice of these core values. What things are we doing that are getting in the way of that? Or what ideas or what emotions are we carrying? I mean, all of this kind of practice that we do from moment to moment and how we deal with life's ups and downs, what's getting in the way of experiencing some of these core values? So that's what we'll be looking at. And so this morning, I'm using the singing bowl just because I want to use it have a focal point, and I want to invite you to take a deep breath. First, make sure you're comfortable where you're sitting. Make sure your arms are to your side or in your lap. You can have them folded or on your thighs or knees, and just upright enough that you can look either at a point in front of you or close your eyes. I prefer to close my eyes, but then I invite you as you get really comfortable, so much that you can actually feel your body just resting in the seat. And then I invite you to take a deep breath for 6 seconds. And then let it out for another 6 seconds. And as I play the singing bowl, I invite you to do that kind of breathing 2 or 3 times. Slowly inhale, very slowly for 6 seconds. Exhale for 5 or 6 seconds, very slowly. Holy source of love, bless our contradictions. Bless those part of us that seem out of character and disconnected. But let us be boldly and gladly out of character. Let us be creatures of paradox and variety. Let us be creatures of contrast, of light and shade, creatures of faith. Be our constant holy source of love. Let us step out of character into the mystery, to struggle, and to experience deeply you as the source of love at the very ground of our being. And then let us do what we will with that. I invite you to take another deep breath, and then let it out slowly. Amen.
Well, let me add my word of welcome and good morning to you. I'm honored to share with you the gift of story. Tom put out in his newsletter that he's going to be doing a series of sermons on our core values, and I love this core value. Hear these words from the New Testament, Ephesians 3. Then you will be empowered to discover what every Holy One experiences. the great magnitude of the astonishing love of the great Spirit in all its dimensions. How deeply intimate and far-reaching is this love? How enduring and inclusive it is. Endless love beyond measurement that transcends our understanding. This extravagant love pours into you until you are filled to overflowing with the fullness of great Spirit. And then from 1 John chapter 4, we have come to know and trust in the great love the great Spirit has for us. The great Spirit is love. And those who remain in love remain in the great Spirit, and the great Spirit remains in them.
Hi again. How are we feeling? Good, good. I know Brad said it, that I was doing the Kairos and Tom was doing the message, but surprise, it's me. And I'm delighted to be opening our new series titled At the Core, where we'll be going over our core values. Who's familiar with our core values? Oh, no. Okay, well then this is in the nick of time. Right on schedule, love it. And I love that we're doing this during Lent because I think Lent is such a beautiful opportunity to look at what we're engaging with and how it's keeping us from actually getting to the bigger story, right? What might be in our way? How do we get in our own way? Because that's ultimately what it is that's going on. We oftentimes do the human thing and we kind of get in our own way. So we'll be looking at it kind of more in detail. The idea that we had for this series was to, one, look at what keeps us from engaging in them, but two, what are these core values and what is it that we're standing on here at 1111? We really wanted to provide a sense of communal understanding, as well as provide you guys with something to hold on to when someone asks you, what do you do on Sunday mornings? And I feel like I struggle to answer the question at times. So going over our core values will definitely be able to provide you guys with a little bit better of an understanding about what exactly we're doing here, why we're doing this deep theological, introspective, creative thinking, and why we're engaging deeper with this information in pursuit of showing up differently in the world around us, right? So we're gonna start at the top, and we're gonna work our way down. And if you guys want our full core like value sheet, it's out in the lobby. There's like that little notch with the little round thing there. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Okay, I'm gonna trust you. It's there, and you're more than welcome to take it home. And I encourage you to take it home because through this series, I'm going to be inviting you to engage with these values, to really take a look at where you are in these values. Which ones are weird for you? Which ones do you resonate with? Which ones, you know, if you could, what would you add to the list? And I find that to be really inspiring. So I'm hoping for feedback. I'm hoping to hear where you guys are at. I want to know how you're doing and where you land in this bigger story that we're participating in. Does that sound okay? We are very quiet today. And that's okay. I will leave you where you are. But I'm full of energy. I'm stoked about this. I had a ton of fun going through Value 1. So let's start with what is Value 1. So on the next slide, we've got a lot. We're going to walk through it too, because it is quite wordy. Love is the guiding energy of the evolving cosmos, and God is the redemptive invitational possibilities of that evolving love in all of life's moments. Perhaps God is less about a fixed identity in our minds and traditions and more about a compassionate, creative plot in real time. Less about what God is and more about what God does. We love the awe and wonder of what is redemptively possible, and we love the sacred mystery. How we doing? Good. Oh, we're talking now. That's quite a lot to process. I do want to pause and say welcome to all of our visitors today, and welcome to all the babies. we're stoked you're here. So happy that you're here. And if you are visiting with us, this is really cool that you guys are getting a little bit of the taste of the DNA of what's going on here. So this is our core value number 1. I'm going to break this down because this is quite a bit to process. And then I want to talk about how I've engaged in this, and then we're going to talk about what keeps us from engaging in that. Does that sound like a pretty good plot? Okay. Let's start at the top. On the next slide, we've got it broken down a little bit. Love is the guiding energy of the evolving cosmos. Can we say it together? Love is the guiding energy of the evolving cosmos. I think I like that too much. It sounds cool. To make a statement about the cosmos is a really, really brazen thing to do, yeah? It's huge. And we don't really know what's actually going on up there. Scientists for eons have been trying to figure it out. Theologians since the time has started, has been trying to figure it out. But I like this. And we're not the only ones in this strand. I feel like sometimes I'm here in the room and I'm like, are we the only ones thinking about these things? Are we the only ones that have made it to this place? But for this one, we're not. There's actually quite a few individuals that have also touched on this, because the first thing that I thought about was, what on earth does the cosmos and love have to do with each other, especially from a scientific perspective? One's an emotion, one's a feeling, something that you can do, blessings. And the other is literally the universe, and that's really, really crazy. Who's familiar with Pierre Teilhard de Chardin? Does that sound familiar? Okay, he's incredible. On the next slide, he says, love is the most universal, the most tremendous, the most mysterious of the cosmic forces. The physical structure of the universe is love. If I could have that like tattooed somewhere, that'd be great. Chardin was a French Jesuit Catholic priest, scientist, paleontologist, theologian, philosopher, teacher. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't do what you want to do, because he somehow figured out how to do it all. And he made it here with us. That love is the most universal, the most tremendous, and the most mysterious of the cosmic forces. So that backs up our claim, right? That love is the guiding energy of the evolving cosmos. He had a theory called the theory of evolution, and he believes that man is evolving mentally and socially towards final spiritual unity. That's really, really cool. That we're on our way back to each other. And I love that. How romantic. There's a whole center based on this theory founded by Ilio Delio called the Center for Christogenesis. And I'm going to post the link to the article that I found that I read there. If your curiosity leads you there, I want to make sure you have access to that. The article was absolutely just kind of breathtaking and left me with more questions than answers, which meant that I was on the right track, right? If I find something that brings up more questions than answers, we're headed in the right direction. So the next green flag I had for this statement was provided to us by Martin Luther King Jr., and I've said it before and I'll say it again, this man has been deeply misrepresented. He says on the next slide, love is the greatest force of the universe. It is the heartbeat of the moral cosmos. He who loves is a participant in the being of God. Have y'all seen that on MLK Day? Did y'all see that during Black History Month? Because I didn't see it, and I feel like it needed to be up there. This is nuts. That it is the heartbeat of the moral cosmos. And he who loves is a participant in the being of God. And that was echoed in our scriptures today, too. So we're really in the right direction. We're on the right vein. We're pulling on a thread. And there's things unraveling. And I was really shocked to find MLK in there. I was really, really surprised. I thought that the way that he said it was just poignant. On the next slide, I've got a quote by Munyed M. Murad, and you guys will not be familiar with him. He's a Harvard scholar and a theologian. And this is a quote that comes from one of his essays that I read. He basically takes a look at Rumi's work, which we love Rumi here. That's our welcome candle by Rumi. He took a look at all of Rumi's work, and the title of the article basically is... he kind of is asking imaginary Rumi, what is love? And who is in love? And this is what he thinks that Rumi would say if he was asked today based on his studies. All members and even particles of the cosmos are in love. The workings of nature are the effects of the courtship and union of countless lovers and beloveds. It is not just humanity that can love, nor only human beings in the animal kingdom, but also plants, stones, the stars, mountains, the sea, and countless other members of the cosmos. All are in love. No. All are in love. That's really nuts. And I don't even know this dude. But he somehow made it to where we're at too. So we're in the right waters. And I like it here. I like it here. That God is love. That the driving force of the universe is love. That if I am loving, I am one with the cosmos and in love. And that we are all in love. It's great. It's great. It makes me excited. I think that the fact that he says that even particles are in love kind of causes for pause sometimes. Because I think when we strip away our physical flesh, we strip away our beings, and we think about our particles and how they would interact with one another, they too would be in love. And I feel like I could stop there and we just go home. But I won't. We've got more to talk about. But I feel like that gives me so much to think about, because how we treat each other doesn't always exhibit this truth that we're all agreeing to right now, right? There's an incongruency. So let's look at what our first value is telling us about that incongruency next. But I do want to make a comment. There's a common thread that's present through all of these quotes and through the belief that we hold here. That love is a cosmic force so big, so unique, and all-encompassing that it must belong to the universe. Cosmic in both definitions of the word. It's universal in nature, but it also feels so big that you can't grab it. And if you're participating in love, then you're already part of the club. I had a couple questions. I'm going to pose a couple as we go. Well, what kind of love are you most familiar with? How has love guided you? What kind of love would you like more exposure to? And how has your love evolved over the years? Just food for thought. On the next slide, we'll move to our next section of our value. This one's dense. God is redemptive, invitational possibilities of that evolving love in all of life's moments. We love big ideas here. This one feels even bigger than the last, which I didn't think was possible. God defined as redemptive, invitational possibilities that are a direct byproduct of cosmic evolutionary love that can be found in every moment. That means God is everywhere, in everything, in every breath, and every second. And that's exciting. Are we not excited? I'm excited. I'll be excited for all of us. It jazzed me. This was cool. This was really cool for me, because I feel as if we're taught oftentimes that you have to go and find God somewhere, that God is something that you interact with in a building. It's not. It's found in every moment. It says it right here. It's great. I think I'll be thinking about this for the rest of my life. I don't think that I want to understand. I think the mystery of this in itself is just glorious. I could end here. But let's break it down. On the next slide, I like words. We like words here. I am a nerd. If you cannot tell, I am a nerd, and I love it. This was enjoyable for me. So let's look at it. Redemptive comes from the Latin root word redimere, meaning to get back or to buy back. This was cool for me. I immediately thought of getting back to what? Buying back what exactly? I think that it can be a number of things, but the answer that I landed on, and the answer that I think that we oftentimes land on here, is getting back to being in right relationship with one another and with self, right? getting back to this thing that we've been distanced from by the lives that we live and the histories that we're trying to heal from, getting back to this sense of wholeness, of the sacred whole. Bless you. Invitational is defined as a request to participate or to be present in something. Who gets excited when they get invitations to something? Especially in the mail? Yeah, a whole letter. My little brother just got engaged and he's getting married and I'm officiating and I'm so excited. And he actually still mailed me an invitation. And I was like, yeah, it's on my fridge. I've got a big magnet on it. I was stoked to have been invited, to have been thought of, to have been considered. And all of us have been invited. All of us have been thought of. And all of us have been considered in the invitation of endless possibility, of endless redemptive possibility. Is that landing for y'all? Okay, it landed for me. Possibility, something that could realistically happen. Potential, that something could be true. That's pretty cool. A possibility has to be probable if you're into science and into numbers. It's got to add up. So God here then would be described as an invitation to get back to being in right relation with one another. And this invitation is possible. It's not a dream. It's not an idea. It's real. We can be in right relation with each other. We are being invited back to this sense of wholeness. And when we bounce back up to the top of our statement, the way that we get there is by participating in evolving love, by accepting the invitation and by participating in evolving love. Does that sound doable? It felt huge to me, but doable. It felt like it was something that I could do step by step. It felt like something that I could maybe gain a better understanding of step by step. It felt daunting. Can I really play a part in this? I don't think I can. Is redemptive possibility really possible? I think it is. But what do we do with that? What is redemptive possibility? I asked Tom this morning because I had sent myself into a dark spiral. I was like, what is redemptive possibility? I have no idea what it is. We talk about it all the time here, but what is it? I know what it looks like. I've come in contact with it. I know we all have come in contact with it, but what is it? And that's been a fun question to think about. But for me, when I thought about what redemptive possibility is and what it means to accept that invitation, I actually thought of this place. 1111 as an entity, 1111 as a program, as a space, as a source, as a resource. I think that the space itself is redemptive possibility. For me personally, I left church because of pain. Things were hurting. It was not serving me. And people had done things to me that I have now forgiven and moved on from, but we'll tell that story another day. I've always been stubborn, and I knew I had come in contact with that magical source, that ground of being. I knew I'd come in contact with it. I knew that this space wasn't going to serve me anymore, so I took the information that I had and I hit the road. I carried my idea of God with me on my back and trudged and trudged and trudged until I found a place that I thought would be safe to put it down because I knew that love was real. I knew that connection was possible. I knew that I wasn't crazy and that my pain was valid and that there had to be a safe space in which I could continue to love, continue to be in love, to be in community with one another in spirit and hopes that we can move along evolution towards our togetherness. I felt that. I didn't have the words for it like I do now because that sounded really eloquent. I didn't have any of those words. I just knew that I couldn't be where I was, but I knew something that was true and I needed to go somewhere else with it. And then I found this place. Well, my dad found this place and he brought me here. And then I got to put down my bag full of beliefs and questions and hurt and pain, and I got to unfold it. And I got to think about things. I got to ask tough questions. And I got to get no answers in return. I thought I wanted answers. I don't really even want answers. I just wanted some place where I could continue to do the work that felt good to me. The work of discovering what we're doing here on this spinning planet in the middle of space, which is wild to think about sometimes too. But I kept showing up, and I kept asking questions, and I was met with other people that were showing up. And I was met with other people that were asking questions because they too had felt love. They too had come in contact with this spirit, the Great Spirit. I loved how our scriptures called it the Great Spirit. That felt romantic. Since we're all in love today, that felt romantic. I could have gone the rest of my life carrying these wounds and moved on with life as if, nothing had happened, but there was something in me, and I know there's something in each of one of you that knows that redemptive possibility is possible, that you've come in contact with the force that changed everything, and that you can't walk away from it after that. So I think this place is redemptive possibility. I want you guys to think about what redemptive possibility is for y'all. Where has it shown up for you? What does it look like for you? Has this place been redemptive for you as well? And I want to hear about it. Y'all have lots of homework. I see no one taking notes. So I will be posting on Facebook with all my questions because I want to know. What does this look like for you? How frightening is it to risk it all in pursuit of the one thing that you believe in? What does that look like for you? I'm curious. I'd love to know. So our next part is on the next slide. And we scooch. There it is. I made the important part big. Perhaps God is less about a fixed identity in our minds and traditions and more about a compassionate, creative plot in real time. Less about what God is and more about what God does. Less about what God is and more about what God does. Just saying it feels good. It's dynamic. In my past life, what God was up to was of huge concern for me because I saw, as I talked about a couple weeks ago, in my experience growing up, I saw an incongruency between people who said that they knew God and what they were up to and what I knew God to be up to. There was a lot of space there. And I loved the fact that this kind of just says it out loud. What is God doing? Well, if God is love and God is redemptive possibility, what does redemptive possibility do? What does love do? Because I know those things. I may not know what God does. That's a huge question. I also spent too much time thinking about that. So I had to back up. Tom had to wrangle me in. He said, what does love do? What does redemptive possibility do? I'm going to ask you guys, what does love do? What does it do? Transforms people. What else? Welcomes. What else? Enlivens. Nice and loud. Thank you. It enlivens. What else? Say again? Opens. He loves us. It's an action. Accepts. Love it. Love it. So we know what God is up to. Well, the love aspect of it. Are we capable of doing those things too? I think we are. Are we capable of participating in redemptive possibility? Are we capable of loving? Not yet. Thank you for the honesty. These are just questions. They're the only things I've got. They really are. I think it was actually an interesting conversation that I had some time ago about what 1111 is, and I found that I was more apt at explaining what 1111 is not, and not what 1111 is. And somebody called me out and said that was lazy. So I'm calling y'all out too, it's lazy. Being able to say what God is not, being able to look at people and say that's not godly, being able to say that God wouldn't do those things, that's easy, yeah? And lazy, according to the person who lectured me. I don't want us to be that. And I don't think that we are those things. I think that we're capable of doing the hard work and really paying attention to what's going on around us and investing in the spaces in our communities to be able to show up like God would, to see God, to interact with God, to pull on the thread, to be in the ground of being. I think we're capable of that. Yeah? I love it. Okay, how are we doing on time? We're skirting. I think I'll invite the band up here in a little bit. So this was a lot for me. I think I've looked at our core values before, and I've talked about them, and I talk about it, and I talk about them, but you really don't know something until you're ready to present something, right? I was not ready. And I'm still thinking about these things, and I want to openly and repeatedly invite you to think about these things with me and with us here in this space. It's what it's designed for. It's what it's here for. What does God do? What is God up to? What is redemptive possibility? What is love? All of it. And the questions that you have inside your mind that I could probably never guess at, I want to hear them, and I want to talk about them, and we'll make space for that. But to finish up this talk today, I want to declare that we love the awe and the wonder of what is redemptively possible, and we love the sacred mystery. Amen? I didn't think that needed a discussion. That was just like the end of that value, and it just rings so true. What gets in the way? We're moving to our Lent portion of our talk. What gets in the way? Pride. What else? That one was loud. Hebrews. We got to talk. We got to talk. What else? Fear. What else? Bitterness. What else? Separation from love. What separates us from love? Ooh, certainty. What else? Envy. Okay, what about jealousy? Insecurity, doubt. Self-hatred, insecurity, doubt. Anger. I don't even know what to do with that one, honey. Anger is big. I think fear, anger, self-hatred. What about getting stuck in our own stories? What about writing other people's stories for them and not even giving them the opportunity to show up as themselves? What else? Selfishness. I think that we're all guilty of that one. That one's kind of programmed into our culture at some point, that consumerism, that what's mine is mine, and if you have it, it's not mine anymore. Contempt of weakness. I thought y'all was being quiet. Y'all was on it today. Contempt of weakness is really crazy. Why do we hate that we might be weak? Why are we afraid to be weak? Why are we scared of being our human selves? That's a lot that's getting in the way. And it continues to get in the way. And it'll get in the way of all our other values. And we're going to continue to talk about it because what do we do? Because we know that we have somewhere we want to go. That we honestly have no choice because love is evolving with or without us, but we have chosen to participate. Yeah? It'll be interesting. I'm going to invite the band to come back up here. And we're going to go ahead and wrap up. I'm just going to reread our value, and then I'll end with a couple of words. Love is the guiding energy of the evolving cosmos, and God is the redemptive invitational possibilities of that evolving love in all of life's moments. Perhaps God is less about a fixed identity in our minds and traditions and more about a compassionate, creative plot in real time. Less about what God is and more about what God does. We love the awe and wonder of what is redemptively possible. And we love the sacred mystery. And I love all of you. Amen.
try to picture a girl through the looking glass. See her as a carbon atom. See her eyes and stare back at them. See that girl has her own new world. Although her home is on the surface, she's in a universe. Oh, glory God, oh God, is peeking through the blinds. We're all here standing naked, taking guesses at the actual beating time. Oh my, justifying reasons why it's an absolutely insane resolution to live by. Live high, live mighty, live righteously. Taking it easy, live high, live mighty, oh, live righteously. I try to picture the man to always have an open hand. See him as a giving tree, see him as matter of fact, he is not a beast. No, not the devil either, always a good deed doer. And it's laughter that we're making after all. The call of the wild is still in order nationwide. Of the order of the primates, all the politics are too late. Oh my, the congregation in my mind, it's an assembly set in gratitude and practicing the loving of you. Live high, live mighty, live righteously. Taking it easy, live high, live mighty, oh, live righteously. Yeah. And then, oh, I just take it easy. Oh, celebrate the Malibu reality. 'Cause nothing is as it seems, or this life is but a dream. Yeah. Live high, live mighty, live righteously. Taking it easy, live high, live mighty, oh, live righteously. Taking it easy, living high, oh, live mighty, 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 oh, live righteously. Taking it, oh, live high, baby, mighty, live righteously. Taking it easy, living high, oh, no, live mighty, oh, baby, live righteously. Taking it, oh, live high, oh, live mighty, live righteously. Just take it easy.
That's a song I don't hear often enough. It's a good song. It's really nice. Thank you, Kate. Great job on what Kagan's for discussion of our first value. Some of you, I can't believe you all didn't raise your hands and say, of course we know the 6 core values. We've only been talking about them for, I don't know, 5-6 years. Anyway, okay, so remind yourself, refresh your memory, go grab a sheet out there, take a look at these things. They are complicated because they spell out sort of the essence of what that core value is, because we are reframing, we are rethinking, we are unpacking. What does it mean to say go in peace, right? When we just say go in peace, we're not, oh, sure, we'll just be peaceful. No, we go in pieces because we are part of one another, and we discover that through diffusing illusions, through inviting the confusion so that we can. And then even as things unravel, we realize that all of us, good, the bad, the messy, the clean, the sweet, the uneasy, all of it, we are traveling together. So we go in pieces. So Let's stand. If you're going to stick around, for Kathy Patterson, some of you knew her, we'll have her memorial, her time of celebration at 1:30. Come, go get something quick to eat, come back. If you're going to do that, they'll be finishing setting up out there. And then we'll see you next week as we talk about then who is Jesus. If God is the redemptive love, the redemptive possibilities of love, then who is Jesus then in all of that as well? So, good to see you all this morning. Good to have you all online. We go in pieces. Amen.